No, I'm ready.
I thought you were doing it on TikTok.
He was here 15 early.
Texting somebody important.
Yeah, he doesn't get.
I'm just, it'll be too.
I'll just hope it's actually recording. Okay. Hi everybody, my name is Tracy, Present and Stacy. Today we're here to talk to you about talking. Big surprise there, huh? We're looking into the challenges that you teachers can have when you're getting into your career. Nathan here got inspired to do a little research. Emphasis on little there. Research on the importance of voice and your rate of speech. It goes without saying that your voice is important for your job. We all use our voices, some of us more than others, to make sure we get our content across. Nathan got the idea from doing a critique on his observations because he talked way too fast during his lessons. So, what did Nathan do about this? Well, with what little research he did, he found out what some of the causes are as to why teachers talk fast, what effects it has on the students, and some findings on how to empower for your voice. Take it away, Rex! Good. Hi, teachers! According to the website T-Tech Innovations, the optimal word per minute in communication is between 150 and 160 words. If you say more than 180 words, then you are talking too fast. And less than 120 words means too slow. Note that 120 words per minute was what Rob suggested when we discussed this back in November. What this means for teachers is that when we talk too fast, it can increase excitement and show confidence, but it makes your content less likely to be retained by your students. While slower words per minute can come across as more thoughtful, when you talk too slow, it also makes it less likely for students to pay attention. You have to know when to change your words per minute to meet the needs. But otherwise, try to keep a consistent rate. If you are not landing that ideal word per minute, then your content won't be remembered, and your students will struggle to learn. Thanks, Rex. So, what are the reasons for teachers talking too fast? There's an obvious one for beginner teachers. Anxiety. Anxiety can take many forms, such as faster rate of speech, often as a result of trying to get their point across, and it can be done with talking as fast as possible. Nerves are a bitch, eh? Everyone gets nervous, I can't blame ya. If you were thrown into a new school for emergency supply, and the students decided that day to try and take out the new prank, and then there was a fire drill, and then you forgot your lunch, and then there was a fight, and prom is tomorrow! Easy, Stacy. You're not helping here. There's another common reason for talking too fast. Yes, I was trying to stop talking, but knowing when to stop talking. The passionate teacher that loves their topic will ramble on and lose the plot on their lesson. Oh, I'm missing a few slides here. Oh, there you go. Ooh, and learn the plot on their lesson. So, kind of like that time you lost your horse. Well, it isn't. Don't have time for that rant. There's also more practical reasons like time management. Nothing gets a teacher speaking faster than trying to get through their announcements before the class leaves. And don't forget about the lesson. Yes, if you speak too fast, you may end up getting through your content and may need to stall for time. If you had anxiety before. The final issue is, of course, what that shows to your students. If you talk as fast as speaking as possible and reflect upon them, making them possibly speak fast and also getting their anxiety up. That leads to other classroom management issues. So, with what did Nathan do about this when he did his little bit of research? Well, one suggestion is he got timing your rate of speech. So kind of like the theatrically trained dynamic pentameter of Shakespeare to control your tempo? Well, more like a metronome to help. So you mean like a constant ticking while you're doing your lessons? Imagine that. No, dumbass, like practicing beforehand, setting your pace. That makes sense. Set a tolerable word per minute using a metronome. The research and his own observation showed that when you at least practice and go over your content, the better your words per minute is and reduces your amount of anxiety. Practice makes perfect. Just try not to ramble. Which brings us to our next point, Rex. Thank you. According to public speaking coach Nazim Chad, helpful advice you can take to be aware of your talking speed. Keep track of yourself by asking yourself, am I talking too fast? Am I talking too fast? What can be more helpful for you besides controlling your words per minute is also giving yourself some breaks while you're talking. Think before you speak. And let there be pauses in between sentences. This would help you collect your thoughts before talking and allow you time to control your content to be absorbed by your students. Controlling your breath also helps a lot with dealing with anxiety. I wish I could control your breath there, Stinky. Breathing techniques can help be quite helpful. Nathan approves as someone with acting experience. They are quite helpful with managing nerves. If only he implemented them sooner into his practicum. Stage fright can take many forms, eh? Another trick Nathan learned to help control his better worded questions is to ask questions and let the students just do as much of the talking in the class. And what that means is when the class is on the quieter side, he actually let them just sit in their silence. What a jerk. But it eventually meant that someone would eventually talk. Other useful tips that we have include let the students do the talking and doing role play and recording yourself like what we're doing right now. It helps you with your practice and memorization. So, did Nathan put any of this into his practice? Well, let's find out. Alright. Nathan created an enter card. There it is. And asked his students to fill it out at the end of his classes. He did this for at least 2 of his classes, one of which was a language learning class, and got about 50 students, or more than 50 students, to fill it out. He did this lesson with a memorization plan, but he also gave pauses in between. Unfortunately for him, some of the weather was not in cooperation with him when this happened. So, the results, of course, were to no surprise. He had very few say that he had slow speech, but only about 30 said that he talked too fast, with the remaining 2/3 saying that he actually spoke at a good pace, which actually surprised him. In the feedback of his students, he asked them about what they thought about it, and most of them would say that even if he did talk fast, we would just get too used to it. So, I'm going to have a look at some of this feedback, eh? I'm going to speak through this. I'm not sure if that previous feedback was the most helpful. You're kind of shit at this surveying stuff. There's definitely something to be said about the timing, that's for sure. It might have been more fruitful if he began this at the start of his placement. Yeah, because nothing would have gone wrong if he started this back in September. Nope, nothing at all. Well, how about we wrap this up then, shall we? Rex, any closing thoughts? The voice is an important tool for teachers, and proper care for it is vital for your work. It is therefore important to take care of it and be aware of problems beyond just the physical, but also the mental and spiritual. Being nervous is fine. It is part of our development as teachers to put ourselves out there. There is a quote from a book that Nathan likes called The Right to Speak by Patsy Rodenberg. It's a theater book, by the way. There's a favorite quote he likes, which is, "If it matters to you, it will matter to us." So for us teachers, that means that if we firmly believe that our lessons and practice consistently, it makes for our work easier and leads to better students like us. We all know the saying that this is important, but how we say it can matter too. After all, we have to be positive role models for our students. Thanks, Rex. And that concludes for our talks. Fucking finally. I mean, thanks everyone for listening. Now, here's all the boring shit here after academics and all that. I mean, you have yourself a good day, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Good job, sir. Great work.
Good job.
Was that actually part of the full, was that actually a broad presentation, or was I supposed to, I don't know. I mean,
No,
did it.
It's great. Don't forget to turn your
I'm going to.
thing off. Excellent.
Sorry, I'm just second guessing myself.